Hey everybody, Low Carb Keith here, and I am in my kitchen, which is in the middle of a renovation. We are doing most of it ourselves, so this may take a few weeks, but you know, a fella's got to eat, so I decided to make something tonight, and I'll try to keep the camera focused on the skillet. Hey, I found a recipe this week for something that I thought looked really good. It's called a keto green bean stroganoff. So what we're going to use is we're going to use a pound of ground beef, some whipping cream, a can of green beans, some chopped up mushrooms and onions. I have some cauliflower rice. We're going to use about a cup of that. We're going to use a little bit of cream cheese and some salt and pepper. So we're going to cook this on the skillet, and we'll see how it tastes. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a couple tablespoons of butter in our skillet because we're going to cook our mushrooms and our onions. First off goes our onions, which is just basically one small onion. And then I had a little bit less than a box of mushrooms, so I cut those up. I used some on a salad last night, so there was a little bit less than a full box, but you could use a full box if you wanted to. And we're just going to cook this up, let those onions become translucent, and once they are ready, we're going to add some other things to it. Well, it looks like our onions and our mushrooms are probably cooked 3/4 of the way through. So what we're going to do now, I'll move them over to the side. I'm going to add our ground beef, which is 1 pound of, this is 85-15, so 85% lean, 15% fat. So there'll be a little bit of grease in this, but we'll get rid of that. All right, so let's just go ahead and add our ground beef, and we're going to cook that up. I think that'll work just like that. Right now, I'm going to turn it down to probably a medium-high. I'm going to add some other things to it. For example, I'm going to add about 1 cup of cauliflower rice. Okay. I'm going to add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of cream cheese. Or 2 or 3 ounces cream cheese. And then I'm going to also add about 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream, which is whipping cream. Which is about what I had in there. And then I'm going to add our green beans. 1 can of green beans. And these are cut extra green beans. I don't even know what that means, but that's what it says on the package. So we want our cream cheese to melt. Get it good and heat it up. And this is really more like a green bean ground beef dish, which I've done before, but this is a little bit different. It's a little bit different. So we're going to mix all this up really well, and then we're going to let it sit on the stove for probably 15 or 20 minutes to kind of simmer. We want all those flavors to meld together. Oh, one thing that I haven't done is salt and pepper. So let's put some salt and pepper on there. Give it some good seasoning. There we go. You could use any kind of seasoning that you've got if you wanted to. All right. And you could use other kind of vegetables in here if you wanted to. If you had some zucchini, if you wanted to use zucchini or squash or something else in here, you could do that as well. All right. All right, so we're going to let this sit on the stove and let it kind of simmer. You can tell there's some of that juice in there. We want some of that to evaporate, some of that to kind of leave. So we're going to turn it down to kind of a medium-low, probably, yeah, medium-low. And we're going to let that sit for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and check on it, see how it does. It should thicken up. It should thicken up, and it should be delicious. All right. My dish sit on the stove for about 15 minutes or so, and yeah, that has really thickened up. It looks really good. And so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some cheese, some shredded cheese, probably a little less than a cup, and just kind of spread that on top of it. It can be any kind of flavored cheese that you want. So just going to spread that around, and we're going to mix that up in it and give it just a little bit of cheesy flavor. So that's what it looks like. It looks good. I mixed the cheese in with it. The cheese is melted. So we're gonna take a taste of it. Get a little bit of everything. Put it right there. And we'll see how it goes. So here is my keto green bean stroganoff. It was pretty easy, pretty simple. It's got veggies in it. It's got a little meat in it. It's got a little cream, a little butter. So, you know, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to make. So let's taste it, see how it turned out. That is very, very good. Especially if you like green beans, because the green bean flavor really does come through. And the rest of it, you know, is sort of like a really good hamburger helper. Because you've got that heavy cream and the cream cheese in it. But this is really good. I mean, it's simple, it's easy, and I could even do it in my kitchen that's all tore up. So I wanted to try a new recipe for you. I wanted to share it with you. And, you know, we're coming up on the July 4th weekend, and I think I may have something special planned that we'll film this weekend for Independence Day. So if you get a chance, make this in your kitchen. It's simple, it's low carb, and it's pretty delicious. I appreciate you watching. I'm going to eat the rest of my green bean stroganoff.